Okay, if you're looking for the next big opportunity, where do you even start? Well, we're heading to the crossroads of Europe and Asia, to a country that is seriously turning heads as a global business hotspot. So let's get right into it. This is our ultimate explainer on doing business in Georgia. Georgia is so much more than just a stunningly beautiful country. It's this strategic bridge connecting entire continents. What's really fascinating is how it's using its incredibly rich history as a launchpad to build a modern, knowledge-based economy. And that, right there, is creating some amazing opportunities for entrepreneurs and investors. Which, of course, brings us to the big question. Could Georgia actually be the world's most business-friendly country? Now, I know that's a pretty bold claim, but as we're about to see, the numbers, well, they just might back it up. So, first up, let's take a look at how Georgia's positioning itself as Europe's next major business hub. This is where you really get the full picture. You've got this deep, ancient cultural heritage on one hand, and this relentless drive for technological innovation on the other. It's this unique mix, this ability to respect the past while sprinting towards the future, that's turning the country into a buzzing economic center. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are the actual policies and the hard numbers that make Georgia such a magnet for businesses? Get this. The World Bank's 2024 Business Ready report looked at 50 countries and ranked Georgia in the top 3 for ease of doing business. This wasn't some lucky accident. It's the payoff from years of really dedicated, pro-business reforms aimed at one thing: cutting the red tape to attract investment. So what does a top ranking like that actually mean for you? Well, for starters, how about insane market access? Because of its free trade agreements with places like the EU and China, businesses in Georgia can reach a combined market of 2.3 billion consumers. And a lot of the time, that's completely free of customs tariffs. And the growth here is just wow. The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development is predicting a 6% economic expansion for Georgia in 2025. That is the highest forecast in its entire region. So we're not just talking about a stable economy. This is an economy that's hitting the accelerator. Okay, so you're sold on the why. I mean, a fast-growing economy with huge market access is pretty compelling. But what about the how? Let's walk through the surprisingly simple process of actually setting up your shop in Georgia. The whole process is incredibly streamlined, really. There are just 5 basic steps. You check your business name, get your documents ready, submit them to the public registry, get a tax ID, and open a bank account. And here's the best part. For most types of businesses, you can get all of this done in a single day. Yep, one day. Now for everyone's favorite topic, taxes. Georgia's system is built for simplicity and growth. You've got these nice flat rates, 20% for personal income and a standard 18% VAT. But the real game changer is the corporate income tax. First off, it's only 15%, which is already low. But the kicker is when you pay it. It's only taxed when you actually distribute profits as dividends. So if you reinvest that money back into your company to help it grow, you pay 0 corporate tax on those profits. 0. Want to see just how forward-thinking Georgia really is? Let's talk about something that trips up a lot of other countries: crypto regulations. First things first, we need to be on the same page. The National Bank of Georgia has a clear term for cryptocurrency: a virtual asset. They define it as a digital representation of value that you can trade or transfer for investment or payment. Having this clear, modern definition is the foundation for their whole regulatory system. So, what does that mean in the real world? Well, you are totally allowed to exchange your crypto for the local currency, the Georgian lari, just as long as you go through a licensed provider. But you can't use crypto to, say, directly buy a cup of coffee. It's kind of like exchanging foreign currency at a bank before you can spend it. This whole approach gives a secure on-ramp into the regular economy while also protecting consumers. And let's be absolutely crystal clear about this. Cryptocurrency is not legal tender in Georgia. Officially, it's treated as a financial asset, kind of like gold or stocks, but it's not an official currency. That's a really crucial distinction to understand. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The National Bank of Georgia itself puts it plainly. Payments with virtual assets are prohibited, with very specific exceptions for the service providers themselves. This creates a really clear and stable environment for everyone involved, from crypto entrepreneurs to traditional businesses. So we've covered a lot of ground here, right?
We've talked about Georgia's economic muscle, its incredibly simple regulations, and its really modern, clear-headed approach to digital assets. So what does this all mean for you?
Let's just tie it all together. What Georgia offers is this really powerful combination: pro-business policies that lead to top global rankings, tariff-free access to a massive global market, a tax system that literally encourages you to reinvest, and clear, predictable rules for the digital economy. Honestly, it's the complete package for any entrepreneur who's looking for growth.
So when you think about it, this unique blend of ancient culture and modern commerce, its prime location, and its rock-solid pro-business mindset, the only real question left is this: could Georgia be your next strategic move?